is the right place to be. So we're just going to get right into it.
Okay.
Yes, Niva. Kindly tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Niva?
Niva, just as you introduced me, I am a multi-talented person. I exist in two forms. I am a visual artist that is on the photography and videography side. And I am also, well, I would now consider myself an influential person. And that is obviously reflected on my socials and the experience that I've had interacting with people. But overall, I'm a multi-talented person in the multimedia and visual creations industry.
Great.
Sounds very interesting.
Yes, a lot.
So tell us, how did you start? When did you find your passion? What happened?
Well, I think I can date it back into high school times, late 2012 when I was in my 12th grade. Each time my friends asked me to take a picture of them, they always loved the outcome. So it's like I was the go-to guy to have pictures taken from. You know, obviously, we used to sneak phones, but then each time they wanted a picture, they would say, this guy does it well. It came to university times also. I actually used to take pictures of people on their phones or on my phone. So it's something that I kept on the side because at that time people knew me as the fashion guy. So obviously the fashion guy, I had another guy that used to take pictures of me. His name is Helix. I don't know if he's gonna see this, but shout out to Helix. He used to take pictures of me. By then I didn't even think I was actually going to go deep into this. For me it was just okay, on the phone. Just take pictures and then go. But then somehow these two kept on coming closer to each other until I realized that if I'm in the fashion, I have an image and that image needs to be broadcasted. But how is it broadcasted? Using cameras and everything. So I said, I can actually do this and I can do that. So that's when I started marrying things. That was like late 2016, 2017 when I was finishing my university undergrad. So both of them started springing up. I was still known as the fashion guy, especially on Instagram. But I have always had a brand called Drubeg. It used to be called Drubeg back then, but now it's known as House of Drubeg. In 2017, when I finished school, I turned it into a magazine at first, and then I said I will create all the content that will be in the magazine. Then I kind of did like an assessment and said, I don't think I can actually run a magazine here. I have an inspiration. There's a guy that inspires me. His name is Fabian. He's from Germany. He is actually in the what my Drubeg is right now, like actual content creation and just plainly that and involving different individuals and companies. So I after I sat down, I thought about it. I said, you know what? I think let me just go with what I'm actually good at, and that is the creation part, because the magazine direction is going to involve many people. And I didn't really, I'm like a loner, so even thinking about bringing people into my space was already no.
So business.
So Drubeg turned into a content creation agency now, and then me as the spearhead or the founder, the CEO. So the fashion side slacked behind, and then the actual content creation me now came out and took over who I am as a person. And currently many people know me as a photographer, but I'm also a videographer. And I think that's pretty much how, so fashion came in first, then the content creation part kind of overtook. And that's where I am right now, digital creator.
Well, honestly, that combination sounds very interesting. Looking at the times now, media has taken over everything. The fact that you're in the fashion world and also behind the scenes, cameras and everything. How is it exciting now, 2021?
To be honest, it's full of possibilities.
I
keep on telling my friends, I have a group, I have two friends. We call each other the daydreamers on WhatsApp. I think you guys are probably seeing that. I have two crazy friends that I literally tell them every night. We chat every day. I tell them, guys, Zambia is an uncultivated land. There is not so much thing going on here. Since way back, I have always looked into our neighboring countries and the things that they're doing, and I compare them with what we are doing here. There's so many things that haven't been introduced, and I think that's what drives my fuel all the time. Because every day I'm always looking at what new camera is out, because I know to say if I get the best equipment, I can actually bring in top-notch stuff in the Zambian media industry in terms of video as well as photo, because as far as photography goes, there's something that I noticed is lacking, and I tested it, and currently I'm actually getting feedback from people to say, wow, your style is different, and that's just positive feedback for me to say, okay, good, we're actually going in the right direction. So it's very exciting because there's so much openness, there's so many possibilities currently.
Okay. Well, I feel, talking about style, what's your style exactly? Are you a type of person who likes going in the field, event person, or maybe you're a fan of celebrities? You know, people get to choose what field they want to, you know, indulge more into. So what's your style really?
To be honest, my style is just, and this is gonna sound cliche, but my
Don't tell us.
my style is just the people.
That's the people.
Let me give you a clear example. Lusaka July, the one that people were wearing yellow. That was last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Lusaka July, I went there as a digital creator. I didn't even dress up. I was in like shorts and some yellow t-shirt. I went there, and my mind, I didn't even make this up. Not to shade people, but many people obviously want to capture high-profile people so that they can be rated as. I took a picture of that. What I did was I focused on the audience, the people that are least known, the people that don't even have Instagram numbers or anything. I captured great pictures of them, and then my style of creation is that I do things almost instantly. I have a 24-hour delivery window, but sometimes I can actually sit down, start chatting with you while I'm editing your stuff, and then give it to you afterwards. That's how instant I am. And that's what I did at Lusaka July. I captured all the audiences. I only captured celebrities afterwards because I was kind of contracted by a certain company to take pictures. So eventually I just had to capture the high-profile people. But for me, my focus was on the people. Now, when I say the people, I love to bring everybody together. I don't select which tax bracket you're from or which social class or anything. For me, everybody is the same. Everybody is beautiful and everybody is deserving of a good picture or video by me. So that's my kind of style, the people.
That is nice. That is nice.
Carry on.
I'm like, I want a picture right now after this.
No, definitely we should get a picture.
Can we have a picture?
I left my camera at home.
So what would you
No,
like?
FBN is fully equipped with all sorts of cameras. So right after this, we're going to have a picture taken.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
really excited.
Yeah.
So about now we go for a short break and we shall be right back.
Golden Pictures presents an entertaining love story.
I just want him to be honest with me, to open up to me.
He likes you, Sumi. Just be patient with him.
A wealthy young man of Indian origin, engaged to another woman, falls in love with a Zambian girl.
Marco, I try to tell myself over and over again that we're better off as friends, but I just can't stop thinking about you. This beautiful face, every time you smile, not to mention these lips.
So, Rajesh loves Mwaka, but he's betrothed to a girl called Sumi.
Two different cultures.
Rajesh has been seeing another woman, a Zambian.
Sit, Rajesh. Don't tell me you're serious with that girl. Zambian girls, their culture is different, Rajesh. They can never fit into our culture.
And if you think you're gonna marry a Zambian, just get it out of your head.
But definitely, not a mwenye.
An obsessive ex-lover.
Shut up. What is mine is mine. And as for that Indian guy, he will regret for trying to get what is mine. Indian boy, you better stay away from Mwaka, or else you'll be cremated faster than your time.
Will their love stand the test of time?
Some guy confronts me and he tells me to stay away from his girl.
It could have been anyone.
You understand?
Okay, sir.
Now get out of here.
Thank you, sir.
Such unreliable people.
An exciting, dramatic experience in the first ever Zambian Indian telenovela.
I don't love Sumi. I love you.
Hugs and Kisses on ABN TV, exclusive to Topstar Decoders.
Welcome back. Before we went on the break, we're just getting to know our guest today, who is Niva. a content creator, digital content creator, I have come to learn today, as well as a photographer. So now I can't help but wonder, you know, there are certain photographers who say, for me, I only like take photos of weddings, and then there are some who say I only like take photos of funerals. Then there are some who are like, for me it's just buildings, because buildings won't ask me if they look okay, and you can just capture. What is your favorite? Like, what shoot do you enjoy the most? What do you enjoy shooting?
I know the guy that said buildings. He's a close friend of mine.
Yes!
Shout out. Yeah.
Shout out.
If you're watching this. So I initially gave you a broad perspective, right? I said I love capturing the people.
Yes.
But if I'm being honest with you, one thing that I actually love capturing is portraits of people.
Okay.
Because I am kind of advocating for something here. I realized in my earlier stages of capturing people is that, okay, it's a natural thing and I totally understand. There's certain people that are still working on their insecurities. But for me, the whole essence, the whole goal of House of Drewberg is to show people that everybody is beautiful. For me, your face is what I want. It's my diamond. Your smile, whatever you look like.
Yes.
For me, you are perfect. So I love capturing people's close-ups. I love capturing people laughing out loud. I love capturing people smiling because I want people to love themselves for who they actually are. So each time I am shooting different kinds of, well, it could be a small birthday party, a small kitchen party, because obviously that's where the money comes from.
Yeah.
But if you went on my Instagram page right now, my Drewberg Cam page, Drewberg camera page, there's just normal people. It's like I just pulled you out of your home and said, let me capture pictures of you. It's because I'm always trying to chance getting a portrait of like people. So that's because I'm trying to separate it now. The money making side is obviously the events and everything. Those things that I'm not, well, I am invested in. I'll give you clean work, but it's mainly for your benefit. But if I'm doing my own personal stuff, every artist does work that is just out of their own inspiration. If I am doing that, I want to capture your face. Trust me, I love capturing people's faces. I know it's like sounds weird, but I love capturing portraits. So that's my typical niche.
Okay.
Right there, yeah.
No, that's actually very beautiful. I like getting a beautiful picture of myself, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. So
the beautiful pictures I might add.
At least you understand me.
Yeah.
So I like the fact you mentioned to say I'm well invested. I'll give you good quality.
Yeah.
What are some of the downfalls? Because I want to believe everything has got its own challenges. So being a photographer, being there, meeting different people who are demanding and wanting, to be given a certain quality.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges which you encounter most of the time?
And I really just hope, I'm not saying this because I haven't gotten the kind of feedback from people, but I know it'll again sound like cliche, but I haven't actually gotten like a really strong feedback to say, I don't like the pictures or do the pictures this well. I have always done them in my style and I have delivered them that way. But honestly speaking, like you've said, people differ.
Yeah.
From the onset, all right, even just from the booking phase, somehow you can almost always tell to say, okay, all right, I am dealing with so and so and so. Yeah. But it's all based on a confidence scale. All right, from 0 to 100. There's certain people that will let me, dude, take a picture of me. They'll pose however. They already know how to pose. I'll capture them.
Yeah.
Then I say, do you want to select the picture? They say, no, it's fine. Just pick the ones you like, and then they give me. And then some will, however, those that are still, trying to, and that's with all due respect, they'll want me to guide them. They're still trying to grow their confidence, and that's totally fine. It's totally okay. I used to be a very insecure person growing up.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something many people don't know.
You don't sound like you were.
Trust me, a lot has changed. I feel like I'm a very dynamic person. I'm always transitioning. So the challenge could be maybe on certain people that are still accepting to say, you see, a camera, I like using this term. Photographers are not magicians. A camera captures what it sees. A camera, in technical terms, is an imitation of your eye. A camera behaves just like your eye. We photographers, each time when a beam of light is hitting you, your pupil becomes small. The camera behaves the same. When it's broad daylight, we increase the aperture. we reduce something inside in there. So a camera is just like an eye. What it sees is what it gets. So we cannot drastically change somebody that has a big body to become small, or somebody with a small body to become big.
Okay.
Yeah, that now, unless you go into the other side of the creation or the Photoshop side. But yeah, we basically capture what we see, but there's a few people that are still trying to accept themselves for who they are and say, if this guy captures me, he's done his job, and it's up to me to accept what I see in the image. So those are actually challenges, but again, I totally understand, and I try to work through them and, you know, try to help the client get the satisfaction for what they're paying for.
That's good. That's really but you just brought us something that is really important when it just comes to making people feel comfortable when it comes to photography and content creation, because then we're in times where a lot is put out on social media, and as we all know, social media is a place where we meet different people, and some people will come out there and criticize people. Body shaming is a thing, and just make people feel not so good about who they are. But that's really nice, or you really just try to make people say, look, this is who you are, you're beautiful, and it's enough. You don't have to put I like filters for Snapchat, but
yeah, Snapchat filters are like the ones.
But it's just important to always know that just as you are, you're beautiful, and we're all beautiful in our own ways.
Totally.
So what are the two things that the gear, I understand there's light and there's that bright thing. So what are the two things that you always carry with you, just in case you meet a random person that you want to take a picture of?
Is that apart from my camera and the lens? Because trust me, those are the oil and the battery. But I am a natural light photographer, so you hardly see me using artificial lights like flashes or lamps and everything. I love natural light. Again, I always try to keep things as realistic as possible. So yeah, I think, how can I put it? Honestly, for as long as my memory card and my battery are in my camera and my lens, I can carry that and walk around with me. Everything else that I carry in my bag, maybe it's just got a few spares here and there, but yeah, pretty much natural light photographers, we don't carry a lot. We are very minimalistic. It's just the camera, the lens, good lens. If you've got two that you use, because there's different uses. But for me, I love getting variable lenses. One lens that can do many things. Yeah, camera, lens, battery, and the memory card.
Okay. And you said you're at UNZA.
Yeah.
So did you actually go to school for photography, and did you do mass communication, or you just self-taught? How did that happen?
No. I actually graduated with a major in demography and minor in development studies. Way different from all these things that I'm doing. Way different. Yeah,
exactly.
that's like this. Yeah. Honestly, this is just something that I built out of self-interest. I believe everybody has a gift born in them whenever, as they are growing. There's always something. Either you are somehow a future tennis champion, it's inside you, and I always want people to look for it inside them. For me, I think I just discovered that I am a very spontaneous and creative person, and I reflect that using tools like cameras. So honestly, it's inborn, but obviously I keep learning from people. I always ask. I have a role model in South Africa. It's his birthday today. He's
happy birthday.
I literally followed him in February. I was lucky enough to get a flight and go there, and I just wanted to sit down with him and then just get his energy, because he has inspired me for the longest time. So it's something that I have nurtured from inside me, and of course, the free teacher, he's not really free, use data. YouTube. YouTube. Trust me.
You will hear that.
I watch at least one YouTube video every day. To just keep that knowledge going, because trust me, photography is a very extensive career. I laugh sometimes, and it's totally okay. People say, photography, you just click a picture, you just click a button.
Yes.
But then there's so many things that happen before I click that button in my head. I need to analyze so many things. So yeah, I have basically just self-taught myself, while also getting advice from people that are doing it better than me.
That's good.
Yeah, so talking about career and interest, you mentioned to say this is something you actually taught yourself because you had interest for it.
Yeah.
I feel we're living in a time where most people, us young people right now, are very skeptical about finding talents or finding new ventures to actually build on and just, earn an income off and on. What is your best advice you can give to somebody watching right now? Because some people right now are going to school to get a job.
Yeah.
Nothing apart from that. And
Yeah.
these are people who are brilliant, talented, people can sing, they can actually write very well.
Yeah.
They can sit, in front of a camera and actually speak very well.
Yeah.
But all they're fighting for at the end of the day is just go to the university, get that paper and actually wait for, for work.
Yeah.
So what's your best advice?
From my observation from the United States of America kind of economy, is that those guys are multitaskers.
Yeah.
He can be working in a bank, he's a part-time DJ, he does Uber, he does that. I think it's really a task for each one of us, regardless what you're doing, even if you're a lawyer or a doctor, to look for that one thing that we enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And as you look for it, spontaneously see if you can monetize that thing. Because I never thought I would ever charge to take pictures. Remember, I used to take pictures of people as just like help.
You are that
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
The good
friend
one.
who takes good pictures.
Yeah. Until somebody pushed me to say, Niva, you can actually charge for this. And I remember the amount of money, the first pay I ever got was 20 kwacha.
Okay.
For like 4 pictures.
Okay.
20 kwacha. I gave that. I looked at it and I said, wow. So times have changed right now, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that the social norm is that you're only a person if you wear a collar, if you wear a jacket and everything. But that is totally wrong, because deep down, well, I could break that down, but that's a topic for another day. But deep down, the utmost important thing is if you're happy and you're making the money. Don't forget to make the money, because rentals don't care where you're getting it from.
That's true.
When it's due, it's due. Yeah. So I implore everybody to look within them for that one thing they do. It could be writing. These are certain skills that will be very important as time goes. Writing, you need to be able to do graphic designing.
Yeah.
You need to be able to learn a language and be able to interpret it. You could actually get paid for that. Again, photography, be able to capture good pictures, be able to film people properly, tell a story. All these the content creation industry, if you tap into it and get your seat and build on it, then you're very likely to have a good source of income that may even make you retire from your academic role. Because eventually everybody moves from the academic source of income to something they actually want to do. That's why people retire and start doing farming and everything. But it's good to learn that now. So if you're watching this, take some time off in the evening and go on YouTube, start searching a particular direction that you may be a good writer, you may be a good speaker, but I implore you to look for that one talent that you love, be good at it, be great at it, and stand out from it. And then eventually put a price on it, because when you build it, you build value, and value is always exchanged for a price. You always need to charge for how good you are. But the job right now is for you to learn it.
I feel you deserve this right now.
Yes.
I honestly feel you deserve this right now because you've explained it very well, and you've mentioned to say that there can be actually very good income and sustainable income from actually doing what you want, finding interest in something and building on it, and just do you, and you're actually going to live a life which you just won't be happy but sustainable as well.
True.
Yeah. So
trust me, the biggest fuel does not come from outside but from within. Your boss telling you to do something, that's not enough fuel. But you waking up and saying, I want to do this, that's fuel.
That's true. And he also said something that just stood out for me, is how you said make the money, but again, this is no time to make the money, but you need to learn. And so often we tend to rush the process when it comes to other than school, when it comes to actually building on our talents and our abilities and just getting a new skill. At times it's I just want to make the money, but you don't take time to learn the process. Like you mentioned, you actually started this when you're in school, then you were intentional about it, so you say watching YouTube videos, and till you go to a point where you're comfortable enough to charge for the quality of the work that you're bringing to the table. So I think it's also just important when we find that thing that you're good at, just take time, give yourself more like a growth plan, give yourself time to learn. Learning never stops, but to a point where you're comfortable enough to actually charge and bring value. That is so. I've learned. as well.
I was touched on the income, you know.
The
I mean, who
income.
doesn't want to have money nowadays? Everything
Yeah.
costs money, you know. Life has become very expensive. Rather than just you working, please, let's all find our talents.
Yeah, true.
And the other thing I wanted to find out is, you know, there's in the past when we were growing up, there was a narrative where people would say, "Eh, my cameraman, there is no money." You know, it's like, what does you do? Just a cameraman. Like, these people would come home and take beautiful pictures of us. Shout out. When I was young, there was my professor. I would take so beautiful pictures.
Yeah.
But then, compared to now and when we were young, what we used to see, and you being in a space where you're doing that, have you seen any changes concerning how society perceives or the narrative concerning photographers now?
It's actually a very big challenge. It's slowly starting to, change, but honestly, it's a very big thing because in the grand scheme, like I mentioned, careers that are, this is just real life, all right? Careers like law, being a doctor, and all that kind of thing will always be seen as the utmost professions, the most important. Photography, for the high essence that all it does is use a tool and then capture something and then somehow your like job is done. Society will always perceive it as a low thing. But then the funny thing is that people knock off from their brilliant careers and go sit down on the chair and then start watching a screen. Now, what's on the screen? And who is putting that thing on your screen for you to call them not important? I feel like all careers are important because without entertainment, human would have been bored. And boredom actually kills. So people need to put some respect on photography and videography because things have changed now. I would just bluntly say this because I don't hide anything from anybody these days. I would just give an example, and I'm not saying this actually happens, because you could be in a certain sector that is academic and earning a certain much, but I won't lie to you, photographers and videographers these days, if you're putting in the actual work, you can walk away with between 10 to 20,000 a month. So it's just that's
not bad.
I have experienced that myself, and actually laugh to say I was getting triple what I used to get when I used to work in a bank. I actually had a little 9 months.
Oh, you worked in a bank.
Yeah, and then I resigned.
Okay, you resigned.
Yeah,
you found your passion, I guess.
Honestly, let me tell you something. I am a very spontaneous person. If I want to do something, I'll do it. My mind kept on ringing, and I could feel myself out of place. I used to wear this nice suit all the time and put the tie and go sit in there. I hope I'm not discouraging anybody that wants to work in a bank. Go and work there. Make sure you love it. But for me, I don't like things that are not real. I just felt like I was lying to myself because my salary was not speaking what I was looking like or what I felt I was worth. So it's like you are on a bus, it's moving, it's okay. A bus is supposed to move at the pace it's supposed to move. But I felt like if I jumped out of the bus and started running, I could go faster than the bus. So it was really just a whole risk. And that was during COVID time, so I think I'm just a lucky child.
No, you are.
Yeah.
You really are. And it takes courage to actually do that.
So much.
It really does. You actually drop something you've been working with or for a very long time. For a while. It can be for a while or for a very long time.
Yeah.
And just follow your passion. I mean, it takes courage.
Yeah, I honestly call it God's grace because not so many people make such kind of moves and continue floating.
Yeah.
I have never complained since I jumped out of the job, since I jumped out of my parents' house. Everything just happened so fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just tells me that risks sometimes can be beneficial, you know?
Trust me.
You just have to be very calculative and make sure you're going for the right thing, the right goal, you've got a plan, you know, and... By the way, did you ever have a support system when you actually dropped your job?
Listen to me.
Because, these things you really need, someone to talk to say, do you think this can actually work out? Am I doing the right thing right now? Did you ever have, someone in the background?
I think we should extend the duration for this because this is a very good conversation.
Yes.
My support system actually started before I even went to work for the bank.
Okay.
My sister, that was 2018, I won a photography competition that was being held by Shivers. The grand prize was an all-paid trip to South Africa for the South African Fashion Week. Long story short, I'm the one that won.
Oh,
yeah.
Congratulations.
But before going there, September 2018, before going there, the thing is I was using, now Helix, the guy that used to take pictures of me, he actually coached me on how to use a camera. That's why I respect this guy. All right, and he gave me his camera to practice before the day of the event. But thank God I'm a very fast learner. I was practicing it on my iron, the actual iron. I was learning everything, every camera I took on an iron.
Oh.
And that was like the actual iron that you use. I was putting it on a certain thing, and I used to capture, okay, aperture, okay, lighting, okay, this.
Okay.
It was like really, really fast. But after everything was finalized, my sister said, but you don't have a camera and you're going for fashion week and you're going to be shooting in a gallery.
No.
I love this woman. She put out money, that was about 5,000 something. Got me my first camera. And everything escalated from there. So she has been my biggest support system. Obviously, you would expect my parents to also be part of this, and they are, because they on my part of resigning. Obviously, they tried to keep me in the job, but I thank God that they gave me the chance to prove them wrong. So I still call that support, because they didn't hate me for jumping out of the job that they took me to school for so long for, but they trusted me. And for me, every day, I always make sure I don't let them down and let them know that I know exactly what I'm doing. But I always let them know that my degree is nicely parked and it's dusted all the time. In case everything ever went wrong, I'll still go back.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm blessed to have these two options. So my family, honestly, and not forgetting my actual clients.
Yeah,
I have the most amazing clients ever. The ones I've shot and the ones I'm yet to shoot. You guys.
Yes,
oh yes,
so,
I mean, I need a good photo.
Yeah,
I really do.
That's me.
I really do. Wow, you've. I feel support is always important, regardless of what decision you want to make. The process you are in, you always need somebody to talk to. You always need somebody to back you up. Yeah. So on that note, Tisa, what do you feel?
Well, I strongly agree. You know, it's good to have people who actually support you, and tell you where, like we said earlier, back in the day, it was go to school, get a job, do this, that. But then to actually have people in your life who are going to support your dreams is very important, whatever dream it is. Even if your dream is going to work in an office or working in a hospital or just being a photographer, it's important to just have people around you to just really support you. It keeps you going on the hard days and the good days.
That's true. A dream is a dream. I mean, we all have our own and we deserve to live them.
Exactly. So we're going to go on a break.
Oh yes, we need to. I mean, this conversation is getting heated up and I love it.
So we'll be right back.
Golden Pictures presents an entertaining love story.
I just want him to be honest with me, to open up to me.
He likes you, Sumi. Just be patient with him.
A wealthy young man of Indian origin, engaged to another woman, falls in love with a Zambian girl.
Marco, I try to tell myself over and over again that we're better off as friends, but I just can't stop thinking about you. It's a beautiful face. Every time you smile, not to mention these lips.
So, Rajesh loves Mwaka, but he's betrothed to a girl called Sumi.
Two different cultures.
Rajesh has been seeing another woman, a Zambian.
Sit, Rajesh. Don't tell me you're serious with that girl. Zambian girls, the culture is different, Rajesh. They can never fit into our culture.
And if you think you're gonna marry a Zambian, just get it out of your head.
But definitely, not a mwenye.
An obsessive ex-lover.
Shut up. What is mine is mine. And as for that Indian guy, he will regret for trying to get what is mine. Indian boy, you better stay away from Mwaka, or else you'll be cremated faster than your time.
Will their love stand the test of time?
Some guy confronts me and he tells me to stay away from his girl.
It could have been anyone.
You understand?
Okay, sir.
Now get out of here.
Thank you, sir.
Such unreliable people.
An exciting, dramatic experience in the first ever Zambian Indian telenovela.
I don't love Sumi. I love you.
Hugs and Kisses on ABN TV, exclusive to Topstar Decoders.
back, I really love the conversation so far. It's been very educative for me on my part. Family, support, career, leaving a job, dropping a job, it's not something which people can just, wake up to and just decide. But we've got someone right now who has inspired me to actually take risks, but I need to be very calculative.
Please.
I need to have a vision. It has to be clear. I need to have a backup plan. I need to have some savings. I just have to make sure I am settled regardless of the outcomes.
Yeah.
So, talking about your career right now, having a family and a sister who has been very supportive and everything. I mean, not everybody would be very supportive, especially in your case where you actually dropped. You left your work, and followed your interests and your passion.
Yeah.
I know you're a child, speaking to so many people out there, but what can be your humble request to parents right now to say, just in a case, you find your child actually wants to leave one career and actually venture into his interest or has found a passion, what can be your humble request to parents right now?
The current, the rather generation that we are right now, it's a mixed generation. It's comprised of our parents who are from, honestly, I suck at this generation Z and X and everything. Yeah, but our parents' age and our age is a combination of two things. I honestly wouldn't say I have the perfect answer for this, but we ought to respect our parents in the grand scheme. Let us do school just as they want to. Let us get a degree, because I actually told this to myself one day. I said, even people in the US actually getting degrees. So it's not just something that was brought to Africans. No, education actually is important. You need to learn all these things. Even the English that I'm speaking right now, I got it from school. So I can never talk down on school. But I would want to request parents to not be too hard on their children. We all have internal, like I said, we all have internal gifts. We read the Bible all the time. We talk about the parable of the talents and everything. That's actually the talent that each and every human being has born in them, that they need to nurture and bring it out there. We are clapping our hands right now at Patson Daka and Fashion Sakala and Enoch Mwepu, and they're out there playing football. But you want to put so many limitations on your child when he wants to go and play football with his friends. He could be the next person, Daka, you don't know. And he could bring euros to your home. So encourage them to go to school, but give them the window to also nurture their internal talent, whatever it is, even if it's art, no matter what category of the art it is, music, poetry, or anything. Everything has a potential of giving you a proper income source in the grand scheme, as well as a sense of satisfaction, because our ultimate goal is to be happy. So give your children the chance and the opportunity, and they could surprise you, because suppressing them, you can't suppress something that is God-given. It would never end well.
Wow, it will never end well.
It's like not a threat, but trust me, anything that, anything that's supposed to happen and you try to stop it, it's like a big crash. Your child will either not like you, they'll you know what I mean.
They might even be unhappy.
They'll be unhappy. That may even affect what you want them to do. But if you give them that chance, you've given them a free mind, and now they can actually multitask. But keep on encouraging them to get that degree. Once you get that degree and you announce on graduation, it's okay. If you want, put it on a table and let it collect dust. It's fine. It's still valid. It's still your earning. So this is a double-sided generation. So allow your children to also test out what they feel they're good at.
And while we're on break, something came to mind. A friend of mine just put this up months ago. So he's a photographer, and he just I think he was venting, and it was important to vent because I got to learn something. He was talking about how in Zambia, when it comes to content creators, whether it's photographers, models, musicians, people want these people to deliver a certain quality of work.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to Pinterest, get a video, and I'm going to come to a photographer and say, I want you to do this for me.
Yeah.
But then when that person tells me, oh, okay, for this, I can do this, but it's going to cost you, let's say, 500 kwacha.
Yeah.
I'm going to go like, 500, just take a video.
Just for that, exactly.
Just take a video. Photographers have become expensive. And
Yeah.
like, why is it so hard for us to really appreciate the talent that we have? Like, why do we always just feel like it's too much? It's too much. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think that is?
I once told this to somebody. You can't go to a doctor's shelf or a doctor's desk and point out medicines for what and what. You're ignorant about that. You'll make a mistake. You'll kill somebody.
Yeah.
But photography and videography particularly, these are two professions that can be imitated with a smartphone. So you as a phone owner, because you once got a phone and took a video at your sister's wedding, or you took a picture of a family one time when someone was about to leave, you feel it's something easy.
Yeah.
But honestly, the reason people react in that kind of way, and I don't mean this in a rude way, but I feel it's maybe lack of knowledge of how actually this profession actually works. Cell phones are fully automated. It thinks on your behalf. It analyzes the light and it chooses the aperture, the shutter speed, and the ISO. Sorry for using these terms, but I just have to speak in a very technical term.
Yeah.
It does all that for you. All you do is click, and then you get that. When you're in a low light place, and then your phone suddenly brightens up, it has increased the ISO. So there's so many technical terms that are involved in these things, but they are so automated on phones that people think it's such an easy job and it should not cost a certain much. Photographers, well, cameras have an auto mode just like your phone. Trust me, I could pull out the camera right now and it's just as I shoot it. But I don't have control over that. We shoot in what we call manual mode. Now, manual mode is where I start to think on behalf of the camera. How much light is it in there? Let me input this, let me input that. So all these things happen within milliseconds. That's why when a photographer is taking pictures of you, you see them looking down, pressing something, doing that. We're trying to get the actual balance of lighting that, because photography is literally lighting. We're trying to get a certain balance of lighting that will be workable and that will be good. Yeah, so it's because of how easily I don't know what English word this is. How you can easily imitate it. Yeah, it's because of how easy to imitate the career is that people think it's not supposed to cost so much. But honestly, I jokingly say, well, if somebody will ever tell me that my career is easy, I will simply give them my camera and tell them to take a picture of me as good as I will take it of them. And I want them to deliver it to me in the same time that I'll do that. If someone beats me to that, then we'll have a conversation.
That's a nice challenge, honestly.
If you say something is easy, do it. Show it to people that it's easy. I can never tell a lawyer that law is easy. I cannot even. I don't even know the first words to say in the court of law. So please, I respect your career. Yeah.
Wow. I think it's important to just like you said, to respect people's career, and I think for me that's something that maybe causes these reactions, because you don't really get to consider how much work someone puts in it, and you just think it's just take a picture and you move.
That's true. And also think about photos, good photos. Do you have any favorite location, like where you would want to actually get a good photo from? I know you love people, definitely, but good
but
people,
where I want to take
good location
from,
as well. You know? Do you have any location in mind?
Yeah. So in relation to also my fashion side, I am more of an urban person, so I love nice buildings. Quick example, like the way the Sunshine building is with the glasses and everything. I love classic buildings. So if I had access to these kinds of buildings, that's pretty much where I would be shooting my people from, because I like to bring out this clean, minimalistic look in my images. So I love the urban side of, as opposed to the nature part. Maybe only when I'm doing editorials, I may go to the nature side, but I love plain buildings, I love white buildings, I love concrete, I love glass. That's my ideal kind of location. Obviously it comes with its own challenges because those properties are owned by people, and if they don't want you to shoot from there, there's nothing you can do. But that's my ideal kind of location.
That sounds like me.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't mind,
Yeah.
for a day being your,
Yeah.
your piece of art to actually work around with.
No problem.
We can
definitely
any
work that
building, I'm good to go.
Yeah, we can definitely work
She's
that
always ready.
Yeah.
Anytime, any day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, one question for you.
Yeah.
You're a model. I don't know why. In my head, I've always thought you're a
No,
model.
it's totally fine.
Yeah. So, where do you like it the most? Behind the camera or in front of the camera?
Yeah.
So that question is actually linked to, I know like I told you, there's a big question mark right now because I have made all these changes in my life, but there's many people that are not updated on it. But the truth is, Niva, I'll just break it down in this simple sentence. Niva does not like the spotlight. Niva likes to give the spotlight to people. I don't like the light being on me. I want to give it to people. And that is why I want to take good pictures of you. I want to take good videos of you because I want you to go out there and shine. I know this will sound very cliche, but I'm not really a fan of attention. I think I would freak out if I walked into a room and everybody was looking at me. Yeah. I became known on Instagram and grew all these numbers because of my fashion side. That's how I dressed, and I took a good picture of it. So people came and sat. It's like a big audience. They came and sat there. But I did not really intend for it to be that way. Yeah. But I accept that because there's a certain way that I can use having an audience. And that's something that I still appreciate till now. But honestly speaking, if I was to do something for the rest of my life and get so much money from it, I'll be behind the camera, giving the attention to the people and getting good visuals of them and letting them go there and shine. Wow. Yeah, so I love to be behind the camera more.
What about you, Mabel?
For anybody out there who really likes attention, this is the right person to work with because he will give you that attention by doing what?
Yeah.
Giving you the actual work you want him to do.
As long as you pay me
quality.
for it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Good stuff don't come for free. So if you're looking for that perfect picture, video, or whatever you want to work on or you want him to work on, he's the right person because it's going to make sure he delivers that attention you're looking for.
Most definitely.
No, but do you like it in front of the camera or behind the camera?
I actually like it in front of the camera. I like a little bit of attention. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
It's nice. It's totally fine.
For me, it's work. I mean, for me, it's work. So I love it.
He loves you too.
True.
He loves you too.
So, I love every little part of what we've discussed so far, but moving forward, we're in 2021, things are changing every day. What are the things you're looking forward to? What are you hoping that will actually change in this career you're into?
Relating it to what's currently happening right now, if you went on Facebook or on Twitter, people are excited about the achievements that our top footballers have made. And I felt really good when I saw people proud to see a Zambian in such big soccer teams. My goal has always been to put Zambia on the map. Honestly speaking, I have been in a few countries and I've had people give sentiments of not knowing much about my country. And for me, that does not sit well with me because we have the skills. Zambians are amazing people. Zambians are great people. But the drive, if you know that you have the drive to push your country forward, I implore you to step forward. And I am one of them, and that is why I left the front of the camera and went behind of it, because I need to take charge in this transition. I always put it this way: other countries are here, but Zambia is still here. Let's just be honest. But my goal is to bring Zambia to also have a seat at the international level, Africa, as well as the global level, because I want to see many Zambians in different fields being spread out. Some are in Japan, some are in America, some are everywhere out there. I feel like it would just create a sense of pride in everybody else that is watching, because honestly, when I see Patson Daka in the I don't know how to pronounce that football club. Guys, Leicester, something like that.
You don't even have to ask.
That very one.
They posted him on some friendly match they had. I was just looking, I said, wow, a Zambian. It was so inspiring.
It feels very nice.
So honestly, I am just looking forward to people growing in their specific fields and actually tapping out of Zambia, because that will spread the Zambian name globally and then bring their attention to us. I always call photography and videography a form of tourism, because people tour your country without actually leaving their homes, and then they prepare to actually come to your home and bring the foreign exchange. So I hope eventually people will learn to, well, not learn to, but will eventually give the digital creation industry the attention it deserves, because it actually is a form of tourism. Especially in this COVID times, people cannot travel, but if I take a good picture of a tourist attraction in Zambia, I have given somebody the urge to travel to Zambia eventually and bring that foreign exchange. So you cannot talk down on this industry.
Wow, I feel inspired, you know. I don't want to quit anything, but I just feel inspired.
It's good. It's good.
It's good. I like how you just said the digital space is like no one should even have the guts to talk down on it. I think it's a very powerful tool, because then that's how we get information. That's how we know what's happening around us, and I think there should be more, like they should invest more in it and educate people in it, and we need to really appreciate people who are in the digital space, because COVID times people are not going anywhere, but these were people who are making sure people are updated, people have information. I just got my COVID jab. This is how you know what you get.
Exactly.
So I think we really need to just invest more in the media sector, content creation, and just get more education on it. And it's pretty much, it's been amazing.
And by the way, for those of you who are joining us now, don't worry, catch us live on Facebook, YouTube as well.
You can catch
anyway,
up.
it's been a shame that, you know, if you're joining us now, but don't worry, you can watch this episode on Facebook and YouTube as well. So don't worry. And if you've got any questions, so feel free to drop them in. We're more than happy to answer them off the camera. So any day is a good day to actually drop in those questions if you have any.
So it's a pity we have to come to an end. I had so much fun. We need to do part 2.
We certainly need to do it. There's so much information to be uploaded.
And do you know our slogan?
No.
Okay, so it's Achanapo. You know how to pronounce it, right?
Achanapo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make it feel more Zambian energy. You know.
But how loud do I scream? Because I can scream.
Yeah, it's good. You can stay loud.
We need energy, you know. It's a Friday. Let's start from that.
So
I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us, and see you next time at 16 hours every Friday on ABN TV, as well as on our YouTube channel, that is Utuntu Zamgazine. Facebook channel as well is Utuntu Zamgazine. Thank you very much, and from us it's
Achanapo.
Mabati yosira ya motoka digula olwasambe bwagisuuna fonse ekita iwe nikusonga wanakanankwe